Hi everyone. So we are continuing with our video series on complete campaign development. In the previous video, we saw the data upload process and the topics related to data aspect. Now this video basically would take on the second important thing in the panel, that is content development. So this video, we will particularly focus on email templates being the most complex ones. Of course, we would also have videos which would relate to app push and other channels as well. So currently, we would focus on this video with respect to email content. So let's see how we can develop a beautiful, decent email template on the platform. So in order to continue, publishing your campaigns to your audience, you always need to keep your customers interested in your content, right? So in this case, our system provides you with two options. One being an HTML upload, and the other being an option where you can create a template by yourself. All right. So over here, we have the option of create new template. Okay, so I'll just also give you light where we find this option. So it's under content and email. Okay, and then we create a new template. Now, here first I'll have to define the template name. So I can just give the name over here. I can define the category of the mailer. So generally, if I create contents on a daily basis, I would not remember, what kind of template was used for which kind of campaign. So in order to maintain this library, I need to create categories. So I can create a category over here. Let's say I'm creating something for these tough times in the COVID. So I'll just select that as a group, right? Add this category in my system. So this template which I'm going to make, I would put all of them in COVID-19 folder. Okay. Now, coming to the next thing, how I want to create my template. So guys, if we are very good at HTML coding or development of content through HTML language, then we can use the first option over here, upload file. And basically we would be required to update the file over here, upload the file over here, which would be an extension of .html or .html. Now here also we have two options. The first option basically is uploading an HTML, a simple .html file, which has already inbuilt images, which we call it as hosted images. And in that we basically put a URL. Actually, instead of an image location, we put a URL, and that basically takes comparatively less space in comparison with the other option that we have, where we actually upload the images. So here I select the file. Okay, let's take this example. This is a .html document, and here I click on open file, and I do a save and next option. Okay, so basically this gives me a URL, okay, that I can see. And as I said, I'm not using an image, but I'm using a URL over here. So if I'm using a URL, it comparatively takes a size of approximately 4 or 5 KB max for an image. And whereas in case of other option where we actually upload the image, it takes the actual size of whatever file you're uploading, like PNG or JPEG file, it will take the actual size of that file. So here I can see the status of availability, whether the hosted URL that I'm showing over here, is it available? Actually, is it hosted well on the internet world or not? So if the system, if this platform is unable to find out a location with this address, then it will show it as unavailable, right? Or if it is able to find the location properly, then it will show it as available. Now here I click on preview option. Right? So this gives me the preview of the template. And here basically you see the code that has been involved to develop this kind of an image template is written over here. If you're very good at coding, you can make the changes on the fly. Like I click on this open advanced editor option. So this is in case I want to do a on the fly change by myself. In fact, even if I'm not very good at HTML, I can still go ahead and make changes on the front end as well. Like for example, here, I just want to add something, let's say good morning. So I can add it directly on the front end. If I'm good at coding, then I can click on this source option and I can make much more changes, other changes in the source code itself. Or maybe changing the URL, adding a new image URL, anything like that. Cool. And then I do a save and exit. One more thing. So here, this is a mailer for a generic audience. In case I want to make this content personalized, that is addressing the mailer with the customer's name, if I have the customer's name in my database library. So what I can do is I can just put a square bracket, okay, and whatever is the attribute name, that we have used for data development when we create the data file. At that point of time, whatever attribute we have used, the column header basically, it needs to be the same way over here as well, in uppercase letter and in a square bracket. So this basically would automatically pick up the values from a data file itself. To show you a very simple example, maybe I can show you one file as well. Okay, so here you can see for this email ID, this is the name, right? And I want to make sure that whenever the email is sent, I need to put this name as a personalized field, like dear Anand, good morning, something like that. So I just need to do simple thing. Whatever header name, whatever header column I want to personalize, see what's written over here, exactly the same way. You should be entering it in a square bracket like this, right? In uppercase letter, so that your emails will be personalized. In fact, this rule applies on all the channels that we use on SmartTech. Okay. So now here I do a save and exit. Right. So I add my template over here. Now, one thing, how I can create a template with other option, that is through HTML plus uploaded images. So where I don't have hosted images, how do I upload images along with my HTML file? So in this case, let's see, we take one more example. Okay, and here I select my category. Okay, now here this time I would select the second option, wherein I'll have to upload the HTML, but along with that, I'm also going to upload my images since I have not posted them. This of course would take more space compared to the first option, but still you will be able to send out the communication. So here I select the file. Okay, let's see. Just doing a sample template over here, used for one of our clients. Yep, so here I can have, see the next option now. Okay, and now here you might notice a change. Earlier, in the earlier option, when I used hosted images, I had a URL mentioned over here, right? But this time I'm actually having the image extension or whatever file I'm using, JPG or PNG, whichever. So, and this basically is stored in the root folder, right? So img/banner, which means there is a folder img, okay, which we saw in the template. Let me just show you the template again, right? So there was a folder img, right, wherein the image banner.jpg is stored. So that is how the nomenclature is. Okay, now here you see, so this is giving me available option, which means the platform is able to locate the file, the image that you have mentioned over here exactly in the folder that you have uploaded. Otherwise, if there is a change in the nomenclature, let's say instead of img, right, I would have put image in the source code, but my file name, let's say if assuming that it would have been img only, so img the file name, and within this html, let's say if I would have put image, then that would have caused a nomenclature error, and due to which over here we would have got unavailable error, which means the system is not able to locate the image. So to avoid this, we always need to make sure how you can ensure that the name of the file remains same in both the zip file as well as in the source code as well. In fact, I'll also show that once we end this upload process, I'll show it to you in the source code itself, how we maintain that. So here, now you do an upload of the image. So before, we don't get a direct preview, just like the one which we saw in the previous option, we got a preview option directly. But here, first we'll have to upload it. Since these are not hosted images, we have to first upload it, and then we get a preview option over here. Now it's showing us uploaded, and now basically we see the preview option. And then basically you save the file here. Same way here also you can make the changes of anything that you want. Now let's see the third option. Okay, so the third option basically is drag and drop editor. So here I would again, let's say select my category, select advanced drag and drop editor. We can exclude drag and drop editor from this because that is something which is very basic and we might not use it for a long time. That is the reason I'm focusing on advanced drag and drop editor over here. Okay, you need to select that and click on save next. Click on OK. This recommendation feature is going to be made live in very few days, and we would have an exciting feature around that as well. But in this video, I will not focus much on that part. So this is B-Editor. It's a globally known software to create templates, wherein we can create a email template with our own efforts without any knowledge of coding involved. If you know it, definitely you can also make a HTML script right over here because it's a hybrid system. Here you can see we can also place up a HTML code directly. So we can use both the facilities of drag and drop module as well as HTML scripting. But let's say if you're not very well versed with HTML, then in that case, we can just go ahead and create a template with drag and drop effort. Okay. Generally, the ideal size of an email, if you have noticed, is close to 600, 300 by 600, or we can take it as 450 by 750, depending on what kind of template you are creating. A pure transactional one, or is it a pure marketing one? So depending on the kind of image involvement you are going to have in your emails, you can decide the size approximately. Here now we first have to build up a framework. Okay, so framework basically means your skeleton, your email skeleton. Okay, so let's say I want to sorry, create a template with let's say these many structures, and on top of that I also want to add a social option. Okay, so I can use these many kind of materials into my framework now. Okay, um, let's say if I want to use a text image over here first. Okay, I need to drag the block over here, click on browse. I can upload the images from my system. Okay, so I can just, let's say, click on upload. Um, okay, let's say I use this particular image. Let's create a template with respect to, a food tech company, like um, a food delivery company maybe. Okay. The size is 186 KB that I'm going to upload. I'm trying to make a mobile responsive template as well. Okay. So now I add the image over here, a lovely sandwich. Okay, and click on insert. Right. Now here I can reduce the size as well. If you think that image size is too lengthy or too vertically lengthy, then I can just drag the image size, the width size. Okay. Then also I can put a block padding to it if I want. So from each side, if I want to add 555, or maybe just top or bottom. And here I can also put image link. So if someone clicks on this, where it should land up. So for that, I can put the landing page URL. Okay. And I can also mention what activity do you want to make once someone clicks on the email. Okay, now let's see another content. Let's say it could be let's say a text content. So I can type my text over here. Same on the second one also, I can add the same type of material. So here also I can just maybe copy paste the same content and make some changes just for sake of time on this particular video. So I can increase or decrease the size of my text also over here to maintain the responsiveness. Now, one more thing, if I want to add any video URL over here, I can add the video link as well. So any YouTube hosted video can be used over here. I can just click on add a video URL, and here I can insert the video URL. Let's go for a YouTube video URL. Yeah, I click on this and just copy the URL over here. Paste that URL. So this fetches the image, the thumbnail image of the URL of the video. Okay, and it puts on the mailer. Now here for each image, what I can do is I can just also add the background color to it. Okay, I can copy the code over here, the color code, if I want to replicate that across all the images. Right, let's see, even for this, if I want to reduce the size, I can do that way also. One more thing, if you want to make changes for even the text block, so that it can be highlighted well, you can make that as well. You can change the text color as well. And if for the complete template, you want to have a content area change, let's say you want to increase that to 600, which is the ideal size actually. And also if you want to put any background color to it, you can put that as well. And click on save and exit from this. I have not made a very interesting or exciting template, but yes, just shown the way to create a framework or a recent email template. There's a complete training module for this version of BE editor on YouTube. You can go on that also. I can share the link of that as well after the video. So we have seen how we have created templates for all the three types: drag and drop, HTML with hosted, and HTML with unhosted images. I just had promised to show you one thing wherein for the option where you're uploading the images along with HTML, how we can ensure to maintain the same nomenclature for the image file. So if I, let's say an example, yeah, let's take this example over here. Okay, I'll just go to the source code of it. Okay, so this is the source code of an HTML. Okay, now I can just do a control F to find out the images, which I can do by searching out SRC. SRC anywhere in the mailer, anywhere in the HTML code can find out the images which have been used. So like this, you can see over here, image banner, JPG. So if at times you have not mentioned the right folder name over here, let's say over here I had IMG, right? Right, IMG. In case of IMG, if during my HTML creation I have mentioned image over here, IMAGE, this definitely would cause me a problem where I would get an error of image unavailable. Right, so guys, we need to be very careful when we create a template. We create a template to make it same across both the formats. Right, so I believe pretty much we have touch based with all the important concepts of content upload and content creation for email. I would still, love to hear feedbacks from you or any questions that you have in your mind. Of course, this video is not about giving you the best practices kind of a thing. It is just for an execution purpose. We would separately have a call for best practices as well, so that you can see what all things you need to avoid and what all things you need to include during your campaign or during your template creation, because it plays really very important role in your inboxing as well. Cool. So, guys, that's all from my end in this video. The next part, we will cover up the campaign execution portion. Till then, goodbye.